it's time to have our Sunday afternoon Bible story time. My name is Chesley, and this is Karen. Yes, Chesley, we are glad to have our Bible story this Sunday afternoon. And we've been doing this for over a year and a half. We've been doing it for over a year and a half, and we're glad to do it, Chesley. And we have a Bible story today out of the book of Luke, chapter 5. We have a really good story. It's kind of scary. It's then, is it the pigs or Jesus? The pigs or Jesus? What choice are we going to make? No, I ain't choosing Jesus. No, what is this story all about? Well, this story is all about, before we do that, Chesley, how about you singing your theme song? Oh, yes, that's it. And can I tell them something else? Well, yes, you can tell them. What did you want to tell them? Well, that I love the girls. Well, everybody knows that, Chesley. You love the girls. And I'm glad to be here. You're glad to be here. And out of the truck, and something else. To see all this building stuff in here? Oh, yes, they see all the building stuff here. They feel like they're in a construction site. Well, it is kind of a construction site because George is doing some remodeling. And going to fix me a room? No, Chesley. You don't have a room. I want a room, Chesley. We're not going to talk about that. Let's don't get off into things like that. We have a Bible story today, but you need to sing our theme song. This gospel train is chugging at the track, chugging at the track, it's chugging at the track. This gospel train is chugging at the track, chugging to the glory land. And get on board this gospel train. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Get on board this gospel train. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Gonna see Jesus, yes I am. Gonna see Jesus, yes I am. Gonna see Jesus, yes I am. Up in the glory land. Oh, this gospel train is chugging at the track. Chugging at the track, it's chugging at the track. This gospel train is chugging at the track. Chugging to the glory land. All right, Chesley, that's a good song. This gospel train is chugging up the track. Are the girls watching? Yes, Chesley, I'm sure the girls are watching. Let's keep our mind, Chesley, on our story. Today I was reading this, and it's like 3 different times this was written in the Bible. It tells about when Jesus, he had been doing miracles, he had been blessing and helping people, and so he wanted to go somewhere else and find some other people. He wanted to find some other people that needed to hear about Jesus. He didn't know how long he was going to be living on earth, but he knew he was going to be going back to heaven at some point in time, and so he had to be busy. He had to take care of business. He was doing what the Father wanted to do. That's right. Knew he had to be on track to do what God wanted him to do. And just like that clock is sounding over there, he knew that time was marching. Time was marching, Chesley. Yeah, we have clocks different. We have about 2 or 3 different ones that go off. We hear a sound and it gets your attention, and you look, you notice what time it is. Well, he knew that he didn't have a whole lot of time, and so he had to be busy. He had to be busy, yes, from one place to the other. So here, maybe he's done some great things, and then he heads to this land over to the Gadarenes, and here comes a man running out to meet him, and you're going to see Jesus, he's happy to see. Oh, Chesley, it was a shocking thing. This man was naked. It was horrible. And he was screaming and yelling. Well, he began to cry out. He said to him, "You're the Son of God." Why is he saying that? And why did he have his clothes on? Well, Chesley, it was the old devil had gotten inside of him. There was demons had come to live inside of him. He couldn't get rid of them. He couldn't get rid of them. And so he's in pain and he can't help himself. Yes, he's literally driven him insane. And here this man is crying out the truth, though. And he always say the truth. Well, even the devils know that it's Jesus, and they tremble. And so they were crying out, and said, "Jesus, you're the Son of God." And what did Jesus do? And Jesus sent him out of there. That's what Jesus said. They had to go. They had to leave. And I tell you what, Chesley, they was concerned about where they were going. What did they say? They say, "Send us to a good place." And what they said, well, we don't want to go to that deep place, that forever, where we just go away forever and ever. We don't want that. And then they saw these pigs over there. The pigs, nasty old pigs. They saw these pigs. There was a big herd of pigs, and so they said, "Let us go over there into those pigs." Those pigs. Oh, well, it's better than a person. Well, that's right, better than a person. And so Jesus agreed to that. And they didn't have any choice. They didn't have the choice. It was what Jesus said. when Jesus had commanded those demons to come out of that man, they came. And then what happened to him? And what he like? He was a totally changed man. And those pigs, and so Jesus said, he told those demons, yes, you can go to the pigs. And then it was in there. Well, when Jesus said, what is your name? Well, the old demon answered, Legion. And what does that mean? Well, one legion was like 6,000. And so to imagine he was so filled with these awful demons. No wonder he had gone crazy. He was a miserable man. But now he's free. He's sitting at the feet of Jesus, loving him. And those demons, there they had gone into all those pigs, and they went crashing down the mountain. It was a horrible thing. And now what those guys don't have anything to do, and they can take a vacation. Well, that's not how they looked at it. You know what, Chesley? What happened when word got to the town? Because this man was known to everybody. He was known as just maybe they did call him, no telling what kind of names that they called him. Legion, that man that's full of the devil. They might have called him the devil man. They probably did call him the devil man. And said, and they're here. And here now, these fellas, they were saying, now, just look what he's done. Jesus went and he sent those devils out. And now these men that was taking care of taking care of all those pigs, they don't have a job. That's what they said. They don't have a job. It's just horrible what he's done. And so they'd rather have the pigs than have Jesus sent them in through. There, this man was full of these awful devils. His life was full of torment. It was awful, horrible thing. And now Jesus is setting free. They all said, get anyone else that needs Jesus. He can help them. That's right. Anybody, if he can do this, they no doubt had heard word, had he healed people, and he could cast out these devils. He wasn't scared of them. He was not scared of them. Everybody was scared of this man. They couldn't help him if they did get close to him. And he would have tried to hurt them. He probably would have hurt them. And he didn't mean to, because he was full of the devil. He was really not in control of himself. And then Jesus came. Jesus wasn't afraid of him. He didn't run away. He knew this man needed help. And he couldn't help him. He was the only one could help him. Those people couldn't help him. And where did that man live? He lived out in the tombs. He lived in the cemetery. He lived out in the graveyard. It was a terrible thing. This man couldn't even live in a city, couldn't live anywhere around people because he was scared of them, and he was mean. Yes, he was terribly mean. He was so miserable himself. He hated what was going on, that he couldn't help himself, that Jesus could. Jesus did not run away. Instead, he came right to him and ministered to him and set him free. Well, word had spread. I mean, it just spread. It was going crazy. And then they all wanted to see Jesus. They all wanted to see Jesus. Well, I tell you what, they had different reasons. The people, when some of them got word of how that now those pigs had all been, now they had run down, they'd been full of the devil. They didn't really maybe understand that. But they knew that they was all dead. They was all dead. Yeah, they knew that. And so they said, we need to get this man out of our town. Yeah, because he's going to ruin our economy. Yes, our economy. That's how those fellows was making a living. They could get another job. I know God would help them. Jesus would have helped them get another job. I believe that was possible. But you know what happened? Then they looked, and here was, that man that he'd been demon possessed. And the one that they called devil and all those names, they might have called him devil and devil man. No telling what names they called him. But he didn't look like the same man. And now he had clothes on, and he was being very peaceful. He was the Bible said he was fully clothed, and now he had his right mind. And he was going to be like Jesus. He wanted to be like Jesus now. And how do you get to be like Jesus? You be around him and follow him and read his word. That's right, Chesley. You read his word and live his word. That's what he was sitting there, clothed in his right mind. And I think he was all calm. I think he was calm too. Nobody was afraid of him now. And he wasn't wanting to live off in the tombs anymore. And he just wanted to be with Jesus. Oh, I think that's so good. I think we need to read our Bible and be like Jesus. We can read our Bibles, read God's Word, and find out how to be like Him. But this man, what's going to happen to him? As he said, Jesus, I want to go with you. And Jesus said he could be his partner. Jesus had another plan. Look what this man had done, Chesley. Now, well, just look, the situation was. He's a great example now of how powerful Jesus was in loving, yes, very compassionate. When no one could help this man, Jesus could. And he didn't run from the opportunity. He wasn't scared of Satan. He wasn't scared of the devil and all the demons that was in this man. He loved this man, and he had the power to change him. And get those devils out of there. Those devils, when Jesus spoke and commanded them to come out, they didn't have the choice. They didn't have a choice. They wanted the choice of where to go. We don't want to go to that place everlasting and be completely gone. Where we just never, we don't want that. We want to go into what did Jesus, he let them kind of have their way. In a sense, he gave them a choice. He said, okay, if you want to go to those pigs, that's what happened to them. But this man, Chesley, he has said, I want to go be with you, Jesus. And Jesus said, here's what I want you to do. People know what you have been. And he was insane. He was insane. He couldn't think for himself. His mind was gone. And he was wicked and cruel. No doubt, wicked and cruel. He said, I want you to stay right here. And you can tell them all the things that the Lord has done for you. And he's going to get to be preaching, and he gets to be the preacher man there. And people saw how his life had been changed. They knew him. He was a walking, living testimony of how much Jesus could do. Jesus could take the worst among them, and he could change their lives. And he gave others hope. That's right, he gave them hope. If they had illness of any kind of a sickness, they'd seen Jesus. He had healed those that were crippled and blind and deaf. And now this man that was demon-possessed, not one demon, with those 6,000, but thousands of them set free. Oh, what a great preacher he was. What a testimony. What an example of who Jesus was, what he could do. This man was going to tell the story because he didn't just hear about it or saw it. It was him. It happened to him. There's nothing like your personal testimony. Chesley, can kids talk about Jesus? It's Jesus looking at Jesus. Chesley, we can talk about Jesus. That's right. We can learn memory verses. We can have the verses we have in Sunday school, or if we don't have Sunday school classes, we can, if a person is able to read, if they're in a grade level where they can read, they can open the Bible and find scriptures and read, have somebody to help them, and then that way, then they both get it. That's it. They both get it. If they ask their mom or their dad or their grandparent or whoever, and when they ask them to read it to them, then they both get it. Then they could have the family to read it. It's just a great thing to talk about Jesus. Talk about Jesus. What a great thing. And when we talk about Jesus, it brings a peace and a quietness and a help into our life. Because Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. The way, the truth, and the life. When things look like they're going crazy, let's get to Jesus. And something else we have to do, Chesley, when all of our work is done, I know where this is going. Well, Chesley, it just has to happen. You get to go to bed. You get to go to bed, Chesley. Gonna stuff you in a trunk. How, Chesley? It is better than being insane. It's better, than being off in a graveyard. Because nobody will allow you to live around. Because I would be insane. I don't have no devils in me. I'm just going to go to bed. Chesley, I think that's a good idea for you to just go to bed. So you tell everybody goodbye, and you'll see them next Sunday afternoon, the Lord willing. I love everyone, and I'll see you next Sunday afternoon. I just wish I didn't have to go to bed, but you know what? That's the way it is when you're just a wooden kid. You gotta live in a trunk. That's right, a wooden kid has to live in a trunk. We love you, Chesley. We'll see you next week. All right, girls, Ninder, I love you. I'll see you next time. That's right, Chesley, and you're just being really brave about this. Ooh, I'm sliding. I've got you, Chesley. You're going to be okay. We'll see you next week, Chesley. You have a good week's sleep. Until next time, you have a blessed rest of the day, and you have a great week.